Welcome back to DS Truck. So we just changed the oil yesterday on our F450 and I did save the oil. Check it out. So I ordered these food grade 5-gallon buckets. They come with lids and everything, and I'm gonna save the used Hot Shot Secrets oil, and we are actually going to test this oil, guys. I'm very curious of the condition of this oil. And the reason that I'm saving this oil is because I do want to do more tests on it. I'm curious if it has a lot more life left in it. And it's interesting because when we did our first oil analysis through Blackstone Laboratories, we found that our factory fill oil still had life left in the oil. It still had a good amount of TBN and a good amount of life. Very little fuel was in the oil. Had a little bit, but very little. And it's interesting is how much life is left in this oil. I mean, I don't know. It seems like it's gotten quite a bit thicker since compared to new Hot Shot Secret FR3 full synthetic oil. But I will say, guys, this FR3 5W40 full synthetic oil is really good oil. I don't know if AMSoil is going to be better. I don't know. I don't think it will be. It's hard to say right now. I just put this in the engine. So I think a good comparison will be to have both of these analyzed. Blackstone has a kit. Their kit's like $40 right now. Maybe that went up a little bit. But Hot Shot Secrets, they have their own oil analysis that you can do through their website. They have different levels. They have particle count available. So I ordered one of those kits. They're a bit cheaper. They're like $34, but you can count particles and you can measure soot, which is more diesel specific. So I'm going to do one of those kits through Hot Shot Secrets because I'm curious if that is going to be more geared toward diesel trucks, or is it going to be better just because it's a diesel, more diesel related compared to the Blackstone lab, which is, it's good, but I don't remember seeing anything about soot on the Blackstone lab. They did have the TBN as an option, but you had to pay an extra $10, and I believe that brought the price to $40. So I'm gonna go ahead and test this oil. It just came out of the engine yesterday, and I'm gonna scoop some out right out of this. These are food grade, so they're pretty clean, empty, whatever, 5-gallon buckets. So I'm gonna scoop some out, test it, and I'm gonna label the can and seal it. So once you seal this can, it's airtight, and you gotta pull this security whatever off of it in order to get back in there. So I'm gonna scoop some out. I want to test it, but I'm very curious which oil is better. The AMSoil AMSoil has a huge record, or a huge history of being just the best oils, but this Hot Shot Secret PAO, I'm very interested, and I just want to run the best oil. I don't know which one's better. I'm kind of leaning toward the idea that maybe the Hot Shot Secrets is better, but I don't want to just use my opinion. I want to actually test these oils. So what I can do, I think I can possibly send some new oil. Let me check and see what I have in here. If I have enough test kits in here, let's see what I got. So here's one. There's one. There's one. I think so. If all three of these are good and unopened, then I can use these three, and I can do 2 new oil samples, and I can test the old oil. So that'll be cool. Now, Hot Shots, they have these kits where they test their oils, but one of their kits is like $130, but it has all these different levels to it. So maybe if I can do their big test, their $130 test, and I want to call over there before I do that, because if I can test both of these oils new against each other and really see which one's better, So they're both good. They're both good choices. If you're interested in AMSoil, reach out to Tom Brown. I'll put his information down below. But if you're interested in PAO full synthetic from Hot Shot Secrets, use code name DS-Trucks. That is DS-Trucks on Amsoil, or I'm sorry, DS-Trucks on hotshotsecrets.com. And if you're interested in Amsoil, check out Tom Brown, and he can give you more information on all the Amsoil products. So on our 450, we did Amsoil full synthetic, we did an Amsoil filter, we did all that. And on our 250, we did Amsoil as well. Now PAO, Hot Shots PAO oil is the only one on the market that I know of that actually says on the bottle that it is PAO oil. Does Amsoil have more synthetic than Hot Shot Secrets? I don't know, but it could be that, I don't know. It could be that Hot Shots is the better oil. It's hard to say, but let's look under here at what we just did. There you see, we've got a nice brand new Amsoil oil filter. So very nice, full of Amsoil, good for a year. Now this truck, this 2019 F250, we only change the oil once a year typically because it doesn't get that many miles. Maybe that'll change. I've been thinking about selling it and getting the 7.3, but I've really been thinking, what is the point of maintaining these vehicles so good with all this full synthetic oil and all that if I turn around and just sell it, where I'm getting closer and closer to paying this truck off? Why? I don't know. Maybe the truck market's hot and it's gonna fly, or what? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm gonna keep it just because I've maintained it so good. Why get rid of it? The engine's probably brand new on the inside, and that brings up a point. There was a video by D-Boss Garage where he talked about short trips and cold weather with full synthetic oil causing sludge in the engine. Well, if that's true, how come this truck doesn't have sludge, where all it does is short trips in the winter with full synthetic that's been in it all year? There's no sludge. So I don't know. I mean, he did say inferior synthetics. Well, this had, for its first winter, it had Motorcraft full synthetic. I mean, Motorcraft full synthetic isn't inferior, but I don't know how that guy was saying that this sludged up, varnished, jacked up engine was because the guy had synthetic oil. That's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these oils into these samples and let's run some oil tests. All right, guys, so I got these oil samples here. We got new PAO oil. We've got got a cobweb on my hand. We've got used PAO oil, and we have new Amsoil. Now for the used one, they want you to sample the oil after the engine's been running and all that. I just kind of shook up the can a little bit to stir everything up, and I scooped some out, and I cleaned the outside of the bottle off. So that's that. Now what I don't like about Blackstone is you got to fill this little card out by hand, whatever, and I got to remember how to pay online, and I'll go ahead and pay for this online. So yeah,
so we're going to send these samples off to Blackstone Lab, and we're going to be able to compare the new PAO to the new Amsoil, both virgin samples. And soon as they are back, we're going to record. We're just going to warp forward, and we'll also have the results from the other one. So see you guys once these results are in.
All right, guys, so the oil results are in for both samples of the Hot Shot Secret and the Amsoil 0W40. And I'm gonna read you what Blackstone has said about both of these samples. I have them pulled up on my phone right now. First up is Amsoil, and this is from Blackstone. First up is Amsoil 0W40. Sean, nothing unusual turned up in this virgin sample of Amsoil 0W40. The viscosity reads as expected, and there was no water or insolubles present. The TBN, the total amount of active present, is a strong 6.3. The additive package includes boron, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and zinc for anti-wear and detergent dispersant purposes. This oil is fine for use and should treat your engine well. So yeah, pretty interesting. Nothing really out of order. As far as metals are concerned, it does have a 1 present for aluminum. I guess that's, I don't know if that's 1 part per million or whatever that means, but it does have a 1 present for aluminum, 0 for chromium, and it has a 2 for iron. For boron, it has an 85. For silicone, it has a number 6. For sodium, 3. Calcium, 1146. Magnesium, 622. Phosphorus, 1031. And zinc, 1142. It did have a TBN of 6.3, which is interesting. Nothing really out of the ordinary there. But anyway, let's shoot over to the Hot Shot Secrets full synthetic oil. It says right here, Hot Shot Secret Blue Diamond 5W40. Sean, this oil should work fine in its intended application. Trace amounts of metals aren't uncommon in virgin oils, so we are not concerned about the aluminum and iron that showed up here. The primary additives are calcium and boron for dispersant and detergent purposes, and potassium and zinc for anti-wear additives. The viscosity tested in at 5W40 range, so that is what we went with. Let us know if it's different from grade. And I think, did I leave the viscosity off of the paper just to see if they could figure it out? I'm not sure, maybe I did, I can't remember. I don't know. Apparently I did not get the TBN on this. I thought I did, but apparently I did not. So we don't have a TBN to compare. As far as aluminum and iron and all that stuff, this one has a 2 for aluminum and a 1 for iron, and that was present in the AMSOIL as well. I think the AMSOIL had more aluminum, or I think the AMSOIL had less aluminum but more iron, but like they say, that's normal. For potassium, we have an 84. For boron, we have a 7. No, I'm sorry. For boron, we have an 84. For silicone, we have a 7. For sodium, we have a 2. For calcium, we have 2134, and I think that's higher. I'm gonna say that's higher than, let me scroll over actually. Yeah, so the calcium's way higher in the Hot Shot Secrets. The calcium is double what it was in the Hot Shot Secret. I'm sorry, the calcium is double in the Hot Shot Secrets compared to the AMSOIL, so you have twice as much calcium, and I'm not sure what calcium does. Let me find out real quick what calcium does, but magnesium was a 14, phosphorus was a 982, zinc was a 1167. So the AMSOIL had more phosphorus. The AMSOIL had a little bit more phosphorus, about the same amount of zinc, but the Hot Shot Secret had a lot more calcium, and I think the calcium is there for the to keep the pH better. So I wish we would have, I don't know, I wish we would have had the actual TBN on this report. I don't know why it didn't. But let's look at this little cheat sheet that I have that tells us what these things do. This actually came with the Hot Shot Secret test kit, which we will be sending out to kind of compare the difference between the two. Which one's easier to use, the Hot Shot Secret test or the Blackstone test? But right away, the fact that Hot Shot Secrets gives you this little cheat sheet is pretty nice. But anyway, it says right here that calcium is a detergent, dispersant, anti-corrosion, and neutralizes acids. So what's interesting about the Hot Shot Secrets oil is that the calcium, which is according to our little Hot Shot Secret cheat sheet, is anti-corrosion and neutralizes acids. So being that this has so much more calcium in it, I'm wondering if it's more of a long-term, long life type of oil. I don't know. I mean, if it could potentially have a longer service life because it has so much calcium, it's interesting. So anyway, we do have the oil analysis from the Hot Shot Secrets available after being run in the engine for about 200 hours or 4,000 miles. And in the next video, I will talk about the report from that. But comment below and tell me what you guys think is better, the AMSOIL or the Hot Shot. These are virgin oil samples. From here, it's a tough call. I mean, it really comes down to how these oils perform after the full test. So I've got the Hot Shot Secrets in the engine for pretty much one oil life cycle, and then we know we're going to do the same thing with the AMSOIL. We're going to run it for one oil life cycle, and we're going to see how it does in the engine after it's been in the motor for one entire cycle. So it's a tough one. I don't know which one's better. If you are interested in AMSOIL, reach out to Tom Brown, and maybe he can kind of talk about what his thoughts are. I know he's going to be a little biased, but maybe he can offer some insight, and maybe he can make a little more sense of some of these numbers that we have here. But anyway, this is DS Trucks. See you guys in the next one. Next video will be us talking about the oil results from our 2020 F450 after having Hot Shot Secrets FR3 in the motor for 200 hours. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Over and out.